Welcome, everybody, to the second half of our annual grants presentation. Today, we're talking all about the Arts Education Annual Project Grant from Arts Idaho. My name is Roghaar, and I'm the Arts Learning Services Director for the Idaho Commission on the Arts, or Arts Idaho for short. I'm a late 30s white woman with dark hair, and I'm wearing a black top with white flowers today. Arts Idaho is your state agency under the Office of the Governor, with a mission to enable access to arts education, and the cultural and artistic heritage of all Idahoans. Our webinar today is a session of Arts Learning Lab, which is a series presenting professional learning for arts administrators and educators. This webinar is being recorded and will be uploaded to the Arts Learning Lab webpage, along with the slides from today's presentation. So you all will have lasting access to the links and the information that we cover. Today, I'll be sharing the process for applying to the Arts Education Annual Project Grant. And I hope this webinar helps you to understand the impact goals of the grants. I also hope to demystify some tricky bits about the application process. The purpose of this grant is to support projects that unite effective practices in education and in the arts. We truly want to encourage more high-quality opportunities for Idaho youth to explore the arts and for Idaho artists to share their knowledge with youth. The funds in this grant pool come from the state of Idaho and from the National Endowment for the Arts. If you're running an education program at your school or organization, you already know there's a big positive individual outcome or impact on your learners. But when we zoom out to look at the impact of the Arts Education Annual Project Grant as a whole, we're so proud of the collective impact that this grant has encouraged. I wanted to share some impact numbers. During the 2022-2023 grant cycle, which is the last year we have total reporting on, this grant dispersed just under $250,000 to 38 schools and nonprofit organizations, which employed 628 artists in Idaho and served over 88,000 learners. So if your organization was part of that cohort, well done, you. This grant can provide great support for educational programs, and to qualify to apply, you need to meet a few eligibility requirements. The first is that you must be a 501c3 nonprofit or a unit of government, such as a school. You also need to have been in operation in Idaho for at least 1 year prior to the grant deadline date. Have a UEI number issued by sam.gov. Have a project that compensates both professional artists and administrators. Have submitted all past final reports for commission grants. And the project for which you apply needs to begin after July 1st. Some of us run summer camp programs, and so this requirement that the funds be active after July 1st can be a little tricky. I encourage you, if that's the case for your organization, to reach out to me and we can strategize together. I also want to note that all of these requirements and also some provisions about what we're not able to fund are available online in the full grant guidelines. But here are the basics of this grant. The maximum award to request is $10,000. And your application requires a 1-to-1 budgetary match of either cash reserves or in kind. Your grant can fund up to 50% of projected expenses, and the actual award granted may be less than your request amount, and the actual award depends upon the total funding pool we have available, and also your scores from panel review. To give you an idea about timeline, the Commission's fiscal year begins July 1 and ends June 30th. There are 3 annual grants that follow this cycle, which is the Arts Education Annual Project Grants, the PPA grant, and Entry Track. These grants are all open for application now, and the next deadline is January 31st, 2024. Awards will be made in June of 2024, And then the grants are active. This should say July 1st. There we go. July 1st, not 31st, there's an error, to June 30th. You'll also turn in a final report on grant activities the following July. Applications are all online. You'll apply at grants.arts.idaho.gov. If you are new, either a new organization to us, or if you are a new employee of your organization, either way, you need to create your own user account. And that will be approved by Arts Idaho staff before you can apply. So do that right away. You'll log in and you'll select the appropriate funding opportunity, and your application work can be saved in progress as you go. Once you do apply, eligible applications are all adjudicated by a panel of professionals. Award amounts, again, depend on panel scores and the funds available, and may be less than the amount requested. You are welcome to attend panel review online, but whether or not you choose to attend, comments from the panel are provided to every applicant alongside the award announcements. As you write your application, you're invited and encouraged to look at the scoring rubric that panelists actually use. So the application itself has 3 parts. The first is a narrative. The second is a project budget. And the third are some key attachments. So regarding the narrative, the first question is about your mission. You're going to describe both the organization or school's educational mission and the purpose of the project for which funds are being sought. You'll talk about student needs, what student needs are addressed by your learning program, and you'll talk about the impact. What's the learning impact of your educational programming? When you do that, you'll link your discussion to arts learning standards, and there are a few that you can draw from. You'll include a discussion about how the evidence of student learning in your program is captured, assessed, and shared with your community. And you'll describe the activities of this project in detail. The panel on this grant are arts educators. They love the details about how you are designing learning for K-12 students. As you describe impact, I have a few best practices. I would, if you can, request support for just one educational program. Makes it easier to talk about the program's mission, purpose, and impact. I would also really tap your lead educator or your education director as a resource to help you write this narrative. Another option is to include some published research about how arts education impacts students. And in the slides, I've included a bunch of links to consult. I also want to note that all past final reports from the Arts Education Annual Project grantees are available online at the Making Learning Visible archive. This is a really inspiring resource with lots of good info about how past grantees who were successful design and deliver their education programs. That's it for the narrative section of your application. The next piece is your budget. So these numbers should reflect only the budget for your educational program, not for your organization as a whole, right? This is a project grant. The first piece is your expenses. You'll want to show us what you're paying personnel on the project, both your artistic personnel and the project coordinator, administrator, classroom teacher, whoever is doing all the organizing here. You'll also include project expenses such as rentals and supplies. Please include any items that you are getting in kind as an expense also. And I'll talk about this a little bit more. You also need to show a match. You'll list in-kind contributions, right? Say someone's donating a venue to you for use, such as a theater. You would record the cash value of that donation. You'll also include any cash or on-hand match, such as other grant sources, tuition to your program, right? right? Any income you'll put there. And then you'll make a request amount. Note that our system doesn't like auto-tabulate your request amount, so make sure you type in your number. Again, $10,000 is the maximum, and you can request not more than 50% of your project expenses, and make sure to reflect a one-to-one match of cash and in-kind. The last piece of your application are the required attachments. So here you will list key personnel, right? Who are the people who are delivering this great educational programming? Include their resumes, right? You chose them for a reason. They're important in your community or to their arts field as a whole. Show a resume that brags them up a little bit. You'll include 3 letters of support, right? Talking about the meaningful arts learning experience that your organization provides. And work samples. So these can come in the form of photos or video that show the quality of your services in the last 5 years. They should be recent. The last attachment is any support materials that you think will confirm your narrative and really support the quality of your program. And again, everyone adjudicating this grant is an arts educator, so they want to see your website, they want to see your brochure, they want to see your lesson plans, right? Any schedule of learning. They like details even to look at how are students being assessed, right? How are we making sure that students do learn in this program? So all that material is so appreciated. And again, that full grant guidelines will have much more detail for you. As you apply, there's lots of support from Arts Idaho available to you. Our grants manager, JD Carson, and myself are both able to help you troubleshoot the application portal or strategize your application more generally. I'm also available to review your application as a courtesy. So you can enter all of your information into WebGrants and save it, but not submit. Let me know via email and I can provide feedback based on my experience watching panel reviews. Note that I don't score applications in the live process and I don't pick winners, but I am happy to take requests for feedback and just give you some pointers for improving your application.